Hi guys, welcome to the channel Learn Concepts with Nikhil. Discover, learn and grow. So in this particular video, we'll be learning about SMART for business analysts, right? SMART is a technique which is used to gather perfect requirements, not only in the requirement gathering, but it is also helpful in project definition and all those things. We'll be learning about all those things in the upcoming slides. And before jumping into the video, right? Before jumping into the video, I would like to say you something in the scrum, right? In the agile scrum, we have learned about the scrum has four events karke, like four events like sprint planning, a daily stand up, sprint review, as well as what you can say sprint retrospective, right? So we have learned these four as events, and we can call it as ceremonies also. Scrum ceremonies or scrum events. Don't confuse when an interviewer asks about ceremonies, but these four are also called as ceremonies. Now, they are also called as Scrum events, or they are also called as Scrum ceremonies, right? So yeah, let's jump into the video of Smart for business analysis. So SMART is a framework. Yes, as I said, you SMART is a framework. It's a technique used for setting the clear, structured, and achievable goals. So if you want to, what you can say, if you want to structure your goals, if you want to achieve your goals and set the clear goals, then you can use a SMART framework, right? The acronym for the acronym of SMART stands for S stands for specific, like define, clear, and precise. Like let's take a requirement, guys. I'll say you with an example. The requirement should be yes, the requirement should be specific, it should be clearly defined, and it should be precise, not in a big document form. It should be precise as well as it should be clearly defined. A requirement should be clearly defined as well as precise. Next is measurable. It has quantifiable criteria to track progress. For example, if I take a requirement, I want this requirement to be built in 2 or 3 days karke. So we can track the progress, right? We can measure the progress of it is of 2 days karke. So it should be measurable too. Next is achievable. A stands for achievable, and you can call it as attainable too. Yeah. It's nothing but the requirement should be realistic. It should be possible. It should not be impossible to do the things. It should be possible. Developers can understand, and they can say ki it is feasible, it is viable, and it is possible to achieve karke. So that is about achievement. Like that is about attain or achieve acronym. Like SMA, we have learned about SMA, and now we will be seeing about R. R stands for relevant. Nothing but it should align with the broader objectives, right? So for example, the business has some objective, right? The business has some objective. That is the reason why they assigned us some project. They assigned us some project, right? We are building the project for the business because of their business objective, right? The requirement should be it should contribute to the business objective. It should not be irrelevant. It should be relevant, right? The requirement should contribute to the business objective in a broader sense. So that is about relevant, guys. Next is T. T is nothing but time bound. Has a deadline or time frame for completion. For example, uh, I want to complete this requirement in this particular time only. Karke. It's about having a deadline for a requirement, right? So SMART stands for so SMART is nothing but the acronym of SMART is S stands for specific, M stands for measurable, A stands for achievable, or you can call it as attainable too. R stands for relevant, and T stands for time bound. Let's see where business analysts use SMART, right? So BS apply SMART principle in requirement gathering. Requirement gathering में they will be using the framework called as SMART. For ensuring business requirements are clear, actionable, measurable, time bound, as well as relevant, not retained, relevant, right? So uh, a requirement should be as we discussed in the previous slide. I have taken an example of a requirement also, right? I have taken the example of requirement and I have explained you. So the requirement should be specific, measurable, achievable, or attainable, relevant, and time bound. Next is project scope definition. As I said, you for the definition for defining the project scope, we will be using the framework of SMART so that we can define it perfectly. We can define the project scope perfectly, setting well-defined project goals, right? Performance metrics we'll be using for performance metrics also. Performance metrics are nothing but they are used to measure the success of one particular framework or one particular thing. For example, there are agile metrics. Agile metrics are nothing but we will be tracking the progress of agile, right? Agile mindset or agile methodologies. So yeah. So these are the performance metrics we will be using in performance metrics to they create measurable KPIs for projects. Next to process improvements, we will be also using as a business analyst, we will be also using in process improvements. That is nothing but identifying achievable optimization targets and stakeholder communication. So in order to communicate with the stakeholder also, if you follow the SMART framework, we can communicate with them perfectly. Like we can communicate with them fluently, not fluently. We cannot call it as fluently, but we can communicate with them clearly, right? We can say the defined goals which we are thinking karke. So yeah, smart framework also used in stakeholder communication, clarifying expectations and deliverables. Yes, expectations is a correct word. So we can clearly say the expectations which we are thinking karke and which they are expecting. So why business analyst use a smart framework? It's intuitive, guys. After reading where you can understand why. But let's go through this slide also. Business analysts use smart for defining clear project objectives and requirements. Quite intuitive, right? Improve communication between stakeholders. Even this can be understood by reading the lines. Ensure the goals align with the business needs. So the goals should be contributing to the business needs or business objectives. Minimize ambiguity and misunderstandings. So smart framework is also helpful in minimizing the ambiguity and misunderstandings so that there will not be any misunderstandings and everyone can work and everyone can be on the same page, right? Same page in building the product or building in completing the project. Enhance project tracking and performance evaluation. So we can track the project by using a smart framework that is measurable, time bound, attainable and all. And we can also do performance evaluation. So this is an example of smart goals, guys. Smart goal. What is not? First, we will be saying the not smart goal. Improve customer service. There is no specific requirement. It is not a specific requirement. It is not measurable. It is not time bound. We can how we can achieve if the goal is not clear. It is vague, right? And next, I don't it's relevant or not, we know only based upon the business objective. So that's out of the context. So let's see the example of perfect smart goal. Reduce customer complaint resolution time. So reduce customer complaint resolution time is a specific one, right? The goal is specific. From 48 hours to 24 hours. That is nothing but measurable, right? Within the next 3 months, that is nothing but time bound. By implementing an AI chatbot, that is nothing but what you can say achievable or attainable. So yeah, this is how relevant is something which will be based upon the business objective, guys, business goal. So if the business goal is to build a mobile app for customer experience, like then it is relevant, right? So as per the example, as per the perfect smart goal example, it is specific, it is measurable, it is attainable, it is time bound, and it is relevant to. It is contributing to the business goal or business objective. So this is all about the smart goal, guys. But don't forget in Scrum, right? In Scrum, I have explained to you as events. There are 4 events, Karkia, like 4 events of sprint planning, daily stand up. Sprint demo as well as sprint retrospective. I explained you as the events, but they are also called as scrum ceremonies, right? Ceremonies. So don't get confused when the interviewer asks to explain about scrum ceremonies, right? So both are same. Scrum events or scrum ceremonies are same. So bye guys. This is about smarter. In the next video, we'll be learning some more about business analysis. Bye.